Today, I will briefly introduce our selected company, PGP Glass Ceylon plc. It is the only manufacturer of glass containers in Sri Lanka with more than 60 years of experience and export to over 20 countries worldwide. The company produces bottles, jars, and specialty glass for industries such as liquor, food, and cosmetics. Since PGP Glass earns most of its revenue in foreign currencies through exports and spends heavily on imports of raw materials and machinery, foreign exchange plays a very important role in its operations. Exchange rate fluctuation directly impact its profits, cost, and overall financial performance. Because of this high exposure, our group selected LKAS 21 to analyze how PGP Glass discloses the effects of foreign exchange over the past 5 years from 2020. LKAS 21, also known as the effects of changes in foreign exchange rates, sets the rules of how companies report transactions and balances in foreign currencies. The main purpose is to show the real impact of exchange rate changes on financial statements. A key concept here is the functional currency, which is the currency of the main operating environment. For PGP Glass, this is the Sri Lankan rupee, even though it earns foreign revenues. Under LKS 21, foreign transactions are recorded at the spot exchange rate on the transaction day. At that year-end, monetary items like receivables and payables are revalued at the closing rate. Any exchange gains or losses are then recognized in profit or losses. For non-monetary items, historical cost or fair value rates are applied. This ensures that companies like PGP Glass present a clear and consistent view of foreign exchange impacts.
Hello. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to briefly explain about the foreign exchange gains and losses for the financial years 2020 to 2021. During this period, the FX exposure was linked to US dollar transactions. In 2020, they faced a foreign exchange loss of 7 million largely due to unfavorable exchange rate movements. However, in 2021, they told us different story. They record an unrealized FX gain of 50.5 million thanks to their favorable rate shift and increased export inflows. That time, a 1% increase in the exchange rate would have boosted the profit by over 500,000. Overall, the transaction from the loss to gain reflects their growing export base and natural hedge, but it also reminds us that constant monitoring is essential to mitigate risk and capture opportunities from currency fluctuations. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Anjali. Now I'm going to explain about the FX gain and losses about year 2022 and 2023. PGP Glass Ceylon plc is an export-oriented company. In both 2022 and 2023, its performance was strongly shaped by the depreciation of the Sri Lankan rupee. Financial year 2022 export about Rs 2.96 billion as the rupee weakened. Foreign currency earning converted to much higher LKR. This gave the company major FX gain, result 75% growth in profit after tax despite rising cost. Export worked as a natural hedge against the crisis. Financial year 2023, the rupee depreciated more sharply. Export sale more than double, reaching Rs 6.1 billion. Currency conversion was the main driver of this growth. Company reported Rs 3.18 billion profit after tax. Again, FX gain were the key reason for the resilience. And finally, overall in 2022 and 2023, PGP Glass turned the currency crisis into an opportunity. Effects gained from export were the major factor supporting profitability. Now we are going to move our next part. It will present by Vihanga.
In 2023, PGP Glaceron had foreign exchange exposures mainly in US dollars, with some in euro and Indian rupee. Receivables were around 11.6 million rupees, but the overall sensitivity was very low, just about 42,909 rupees for a 1% exchange rate change. The disclosures were there but not very detailed, and they didn't show realized FX gains or losses separately. In 2024, we see a much bigger sensitivity. A 1% change in exchange rates could affect profit or loss by about 1.78 million rupees. Receivables dropped to 6.1 million rupees. Creditors exposed to FX were 1.28 million rupees. And the company also disclosed the average and closing USD rates used 319 and 300 rupees. Compared to 2023, this year's disclosure was much clearer and more detailed. Through realized FX gains or losses were still not shown separately. So overall, both years compile with LKAS 21, but 2024 was more transparent and useful for readers. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Pramit. According to this presentation, I have to explain about the subsidiaries, foreign operation and translation issues. First, I explain about what is the subsidiaries. Meaning of the subsidiaries. A subsidiary is a company that is controlled by other company. Control usually means the parents hold more than 50% of the voting rights or otherwise has the power the governor the financial and reporting policy of the entity. In this, parent company is PGP Glass Ceylon plc is the part of the PGP Glass Private Limited on India, and the ultimate parent is the Blackstone Inc. USA. Next I explain the foreign operation. What is the meaning of the foreign operation? A foreign operation is any subsidiaries, associate, joint arrangement or branch of a reporting entity whose activities are based in a country or currency different from that for the parent. According to this presentation, foreign operation, the company mainly export glass product for foreign market, earning revenue in foreign currency. Export sale grew in 2022, showing the importance of overseas operation. Lastly, I explained what is the meaning of the translation issues. Translation issues arise when a company has transaction balance or subsidiaries in a foreign currency, but must present financial statement in its reporting currency. In this presentation, what are the translation issues or risk? The company faced exchange rate risk because of heavy USD translation. A 1% change in the exchange rate can increase or decrease profit by about 2.3 million. In 2022, in the Sri Lankan rupees was devalued, which caused a big accounting impact. Next, what are the foreign currency translation? They are sales, purchase, assets and loans in foreign currency are converted into Sri Lankan rupees using exchange rates. Any profit or loss from change in exchange rate is recorded in the financial statement.
PGP Glass Ceylon faces foreign exchange risk due to exports and imports. They use natural hedging, offsetting inflows from exports against outflows on imports and loans. Started in 2022, they have included sensitivity analysis. showing the impact of exchange rate changes on profit. For example, 1% change affects profit by 1.78 million. Their finance department handles foreign exchange risk following board approval procedures. This systematic approach makes them more resilient to fluctuations and better equipped for global expansion. In conclusion, PGP Glass Ceylon protective risk management strategy is key to their success.
Thank you, Shani. My part is year-wise summary table and quality rating. PGP Glass Ceylon PLC has shown a big turnaround from 2021 to 2025. In 2021, the company had almost no sales and made a large loss of 428.79 million rupees, mainly due to foreign exchange problems and very low business activity. The year parent company also changed, which may have affected performance. By 2023, things improved a lot. Revenue crossed 30 billion rupees, showed strong growth and explanation. But in 2024, the Sri Lanka economy faced problems and the company revenue dropped by 11%. In 2025, revenue improved slightly to 9.5 billion, but rising costs become a concern. The company financial report is not always clear and results have been up and down. Still, the growth from 2021 to 2025 show good potential. Support from the Indian parent company likely helps keep things steady. Overall, the business recover, but risks in the Sri Lanka remain a major challenge. Thank you.
On comparative charts and trends of PGP Glass Ceylon over the last 5 years. Over the last 5 years, PGP Glass Ceylon has come back strongly after the pandemic. Sales went up from about 7,530 million rupees in financial year 2020 to peak of 20,067 million rupees in financial year 2023. Then came down a little to 17,824 million rupees in financial year 2023. Exports also grew well, from about 2,300 million rupees in 2020 to 6,055 million rupees in 2023, then dipped slightly to 5,879 million rupees in 2024. Production stayed steady at around 86 to 92,000 tons, which shows better efficiency. Profits before and after tax went up strongly by 2023 and dropped a little in 2024. Summary of this slide: the company recovered well and increased export, and in 2024 it faced pressure from weak local demand, inflation, and policy changes.
Today, I will be discussing PGP Glass's annual report over the last 5 years. Key observations include a clear shift toward increased disclosure and opinions in governance. Recent report provide more details information on currency volatility and economic shock. Adoption of the formal corporate disclosure policy in October 2024. However, there are areas for improvement: enhancing quantitative effect sensitive table, providing clearest transaction was transaction gain effect reconciliation, additional related party and hedge accounting disclosure. To conclude, PGP Glass has made progress, but future enhancement can be made to align with the CA Sri Lanka IFRS standard and provide stakeholders with better insight.
To end our presentation, over the past 5-year period from 2020 to 2024, PGP Glass Ceylon's foreign exchange exposure significantly impacted its profitability. Early years showed substantial foreign exchange losses due to Sri Lankan rupee depreciation, while later years, partially 2022 and 2023, generated foreign exchange gains from strong export inflows, supporting recovery and growth. The company's reporting also improved over time with more detailed sensitivity analysis and transparent disclosures aligning with LKAS 21 requirements. However, opportunities remain to enhance disclosure by separating realized foreign exchange gains and losses and clarifying translation versus transaction effects. Overall, PGP Glass demonstrates growing resilience and improved financial transparency. Thank you.